Greetings, everyone. Lovely to have you join me today for meditation. I hope that everyone is doing well. And maybe just a brief background about myself. I've guest-led this meditation group several times and have been a yoga and meditation instructor for over 15 years. I live in Madison. And yeah, I think that's what I'll share with you today. And my very first introduction to meditation was with Jon Kabat-Zinn. I don't know if that name means anything to some of you, but he's considered sort of the father of the modern mindfulness meditation movement here in this country and in many places around the world. He's the founder of something called mindfulness-based stress reduction, which is an 8-week in-person course intended to teach people mindfulness. And this program has been used in all sorts of settings, in healthcare institutions, and just all over the world, and has been amazingly successful. He's written many, many books and has many audio recordings, and for at least 2 years of my life, I got up every morning and spent time listening to Jon Kabat-Zinn meditations, and it was during a time in my life that I was really in need of something like that, and it was pretty remarkable. So I've since moved on to different styles of meditation, but I find myself often gravitating back to mindfulness meditation and this sort of different kinds of awareness that we can cultivate. So I wanted to bring to you today a meditation by Jon Kabat-Zinn called Mountain Meditation. And so I'll be actually reading a script that is his mountain meditation. So making sure that you all know that this is his, that I don't take credit for this meditation, but it's really lovely and I hope you enjoy it. And let's just go ahead and get started. So this meditation is usually done, excuse me, in a seated position, a sitting position, either on the floor or a chair. So go ahead and get yourself comfortable. If you're sitting in a chair, I recommend being able to have your feet flat on the floor, your spine upright. If you're seated on the floor, hopefully you're able to sit on something like a cushion to get your hips elevated slightly above your knees, which helps to keep the pelvis tilted slightly forward to help support your tall spine. So once you've situated yourself, begin to sense into the support you have from either the chair or a cushion, and pay attention to the actual sensations of contact between yourself and your chair or your cushion. Finding a position of stability and poise, your upper body balanced over your hips and shoulders in a comfortable but alert posture. Allow your hands to rest gently on your lap or your knees, your arms hanging by their own weight like heavy curtains, stable and relaxed. Allow yourself to actually sense into your body, feeling your feet, your legs, your hips, your lower and upper body. Sense into your arms and your shoulders. Feel into your neck and your head. And when you're ready, and I always preface these transitions with when you are ready, you can allow your eyes to gently close or take your gaze low. Always, please do take care of yourself during meditation. Adjusting your posture, your position, or taking your awareness to something or someplace where you feel safe and secure. If the meditation is causing anything less than that for you. So I invite you now to bring your awareness to the breath and the actual physical sensations, feeling each breath as it comes in and goes out. Letting the breath be just as it is without trying to change or regulate it in any way. Allowing it to flow easily and naturally with its own rhythm and pace. Knowing you are breathing perfectly well right now. Nothing for you to do. Continuing to allow the body to find stillness. Begin to cultivate a sense of dignity as you sit tall, a sense of resolve, a sense of being complete, whole, in this very moment, with your posture reflecting this sense of wholeness. And as you sit here, letting an image form in your mind's eye of the most magnificent or the most beautiful mountain you know or have seen or can imagine. Letting this mountain gradually come into greater focus in your mind's eye. And even if it doesn't come as a visual image, allowing the sense of this mountain and feeling its overall shape, its lofty peak or peaks high in the sky, the large base rooted in the bedrock of the Earth's crust, its steep or gently sloping sides. Noticing how massive it is, how solid, how unmoving, how beautiful, whether from afar or up close. Perhaps your mountain has snow blanketing its top and trees reaching down to the base, or rugged granite sides. There may be streams and waterfalls cascading down the slopes. There may be one peak or a series of peaks, or with meadows and high lakes. Observing it, noting its qualities. And when you feel ready, seeing if you can bring the mountain into your body sitting here, so that your body and the mountain in your mind's eye become one. So that as you sit here, you share in the massiveness and the stillness and the majesty of the mountain. You become the mountain. Grounded in the sitting posture, Your head becomes the lofty peak, supported by the rest of the body and affording a panoramic view. Your shoulders and arms, the sides of the mountain. Your buttocks and legs, the solid base, rooted in your cushion or your chair, experiencing your body, a sense of uplift from deep within your pelvis and spine. With each breath, as you continue sitting, becoming a little more a breathing mountain, alive and vital, yet unwavering in your inner stillness, completely what you are, beyond words and thoughts, a centered, grounded, unmoving presence. As you continue to sit here as a mountain, centered, grounded, become aware of the fact that as the sun travels across the sky, the light and shadows and colors are changing virtually moment by moment in the mountain's stillness. And the surface teems with life and activity. Streams, melting snow, waterfalls, plants, and wildlife. As the mountain sits, seeing and feeling how night follows day and day follows night. The bright, warming sun, followed by the cool night sky studded with stars, and the gradual dawning of a new day. Through it all, the mountain just sits, experiencing change in each moment, constantly changing, yet always just being itself. It remains still as the seasons flow into one another, and as the weather changes moment by moment and day by day, calmness, abiding all change. In summer, there is no snow on the mountain except perhaps for the very peaks or in crags shielded from direct sunlight. In the fall, the mountain may wear a coat of brilliant fire colors. In winter, a blanket of snow and ice. In any season, it may find itself at times enshrouded in clouds or fog or pelted by freezing rain. People may come to see the mountain and comment on how beautiful it is, or how it is not a good day to see the mountain, that it is too cloudy or rainy or foggy or dark. None of this matters to the mountain, which remains at all times its essential self. Clouds may come and clouds may go. Tourists may like it or not. The mountain's magnificence and beauty are not changed one bit by whether people see it or not, seen or unseen, in sun or clouds, broiling or frigid, day or night. It just sits, being itself. At times, visited by violent storms, buffeted by snow and rain and winds of unthinkable magnitude. Through it all, the mountain sits. Spring comes, trees leaf out, flowers bloom on the high meadows and slopes. Birds sing in the trees once again. Streams overflow with the waters of melting snow. Through it all, the mountain continues to sit, unmoved by the weather, by what happens on its surface, by the world of appearances, remaining its essential self through the seasons, the changing weather, the activity ebbing and flowing on its surface. In the same way, as we sit in meditation, we can learn to experience the mountain. We can embody the same central, unwavering stillness and groundedness in the face of everything that changes in our own lives, over seconds, over hours, over years. In our lives and in our meditation practice, we experience constantly the changing nature of mind and body and of the outer world. We have our own periods of light and darkness, activity and inactivity, our moments of color and our moments of drabness. It's true that we experience storms of varying intensity and violence in the outer world and in our own minds and bodies. Buffeted by high winds, by cold and rain, we endure periods of darkness and pain, as well as the moments of joy and uplift. Even our appearance changes constantly, experiencing a weather of its own. By becoming the mountain in our meditation practice, we can link up with its strength and stability and adopt them for our own. We can use its energies to support our energy, to encounter each moment with mindfulness and equanimity and clarity. It may help us to see that our thoughts and feelings, our preoccupations, our emotional storms and crises, even the things that happen to us, are very much like the weather on the mountain. We tend to take it all personally, but its strongest characteristic is impersonal. The weather of our own lives is not to be ignored or denied. It is to be encountered, honored, felt, known for what it is, and held in awareness. And in holding it in this way, we come to know a deeper silence and stillness and wisdom. Mountains have this to teach us and more if we can let it in. So if you find that you resonate in some way with the strength and stability of the mountain in your sitting, it may be helpful to use it from time to time in your meditation practice, to remind you of what it means to sit mindfully with resolve and with wakefulness in true stillness. So, in the time that remains, continuing to sustain the mountain meditation on your own, in silence, moment by moment, until you hear my voice again. Before we transition out of the meditation, I'd just like to invite you to notice, witness, whatever you have been experiencing, whether you've been able to tap into that stillness, that solidness, that strength and depth of being of the mountain, or whether you've been experiencing any of the storms or the weather around that mountain. Whatever it is you've been experiencing in the last 15 minutes or so while we've shared silence, just taking a moment to honor that. And remind yourself that whatever the weather may be, that you do have, there is a part of you, a still place beyond or beneath that weather that you can tap into. And so now I invite you to slowly transition out of the meditation. You can deepen your breath, maybe wiggle fingers and toes, maybe take a stretch overhead or stand up, move your body just a little bit, bring yourself fully back. And our meditation is complete. So I see the question, thanking me for the practice, and do I know where you might find more Kabat-Zinn meditations? Certainly you can search online for Jon Kabat-Zinn. You might be able to find some free online, but I know that he also has recordings that are probably available for download. Yeah, it doesn't take much to just let your fingers do the walking on Google, I'm sure. One asks, in a seated meditation, why is it important to have one's feet on the ground? As a short person seated in a chair, my feet do not usually touch the ground. Is this important? Should I use a footstool? Well, there are a couple different things there. So yeah, I'm also a short person and I do use a footstool. So one is just actually the physiology or the anatomy of that. If you're a short person and your feet are dangling, it kind of pulls you out of posture a little bit and sort of pulls you a little more forward, and it might be a little harder to maintain that upright posture with as much ease. So I often will use a footstool or maybe pillows or blankets stacked, some yoga blocks, something that I can create a little base for my feet. It also is important just in this meditation as sort of, we alluded to that analogy of a mountain. So really providing that stability for yourself helps you to feel the physical embodiment of stability. So I think that's important for that reason. One fell asleep and asks if that's okay. I often like to say that you get out of the meditation what you need. And so sometimes if you need a little rest, if you're a little overtired, probably the meditation allowed your body and your mind to relax enough that you were able to get a little bit of sleep. So certainly we do like to encourage people to stay awake to get the full benefits of meditation. But if you needed rest, then the sleep is fine. Thanks, everyone. Take care.